Ladies and gentlemen, this video does contain spoilers for Argus 7.3 and some major lore characters. You have been warned. Let's go to Argus, because it's well good so far. It's so good. Andy, approved, mate. Approved so far.
It's pretty cheap. I'd go as far to say, mate, that it's my jam.
Getting a lot of hate on the forums, though, mate. Getting a lot of hate. So a lot of people expected that Argus, mate, to be a lush, vibrant wilderness.
No, I'm no connoisseur of the lore, mate.
I'm not either, no.
But I know it's a dead planet.
It's a dead planet, indeed. We do indeed head off to Argus late last night, 1 AM for me. Blizzard did tweet out that, hey, Argus is available. I was like, what? Oh my god, let's go, man. Let's get this going on. And let's put some stuff into context about what we're actually getting, the bare bones, and then we'll get into more of the detail on it. Argus has 3 entire zones, bigger than half of the expansion of the Broken Isles, is what Blizzard is saying, and it looks that way. It does look that way. However, currently on the PTR, we've only had a few hours to test. It's been up about less than 12 hours now, is the startings of the story, and then it bugs out very, very quickly early on. So you get to do a little bit of the story, and I'll tell you the feel of it, and this is only in the first zone. The feel is very much like the Warlords of Draenor leveling experience. Now, don't lose your minds, because I said Warlords of Draenor. Warlords of Draenor was, in fact, praised regularly for its leveling experience. It was the endgame that people had a problem with. So it looks to me like Blizzard has tried to bring some of that back, which people loved in WoD, and mix it in with all the good Legion stuff that we've got on top of that. Like getting a kind of best of both worlds is the feeling I'm getting from it. It's very story-driven. Massively story-driven. But what we do not have access to is 2 entire zones. They're currently locked off, and at least 2/3, if not 3/4 of the first zone. For those of you who are looking at the initial screenshots and going, I was expecting something more, I will say that the map shows that the other zones look a little bit lighter, so if you are looking for some variation there, it may actually exist. We just can't see it yet. But what we can say is that the skybox they've created for Argus is utterly phenomenal. It's absolutely fantastic, and the way they've designed the level design they've actually done has you coming through lots of nooks and crannies and then seeing these beautiful vistas as you come out onto them. They've done some really nice top-notch level design in order to make that world. The mapping has been fantastic. So what is going on? How do we get there? Well, the Exodar and their friends, the good city, has built us a spaceship called the Vindecarne. They've been working on it since they crashed on Azeroth in order to get back. So we go aboard the Vindecarne, we get a quest as soon as you log in to head down to the Exodar and board the ship. And we're taking everybody, but notorious by his absence is Dadgar. Mr. Cad is not present for this. Now, it doesn't explain why. Maybe he's pissed at Illidan for leaving the port, the gateway open between Argus and Azeroth. Perhaps that's what's going on. We don't really know yet. All we know is that Velen's leading the charge, Illidan's coming with, Boros is coming with, Liadrin's coming with. We're taking some heads. We're getting on the spaceship, and the cutscene between Argus and Azeroth is currently not in game. They're saving that till it comes live. But what we can work out from the dialogue that we get once we actually arrive at Argus is that we were supposed to be meeting the Holy Dreadlords there. So some of you might go, Holy Dreadlords? I'm not sure if you even see Lothraxion if you don't play a Paladin or a Priest. I don't think you do, but the Paladin and the Priest class campaigns involve the discovery of the Holy Dreadlords, namely Lothraxion. And we're supposed to meet them there. Now, the message that we get once we arrive there is almost like a Mass Effect Andromeda type feel, is that that ship has been shot down by a major super weapon on the planet, and they're gone. So we're missing half our army once we get there. They've been wrecked on the way. So that's what the dialogue indicates. So we arrive at Argus, we're kind of screwed up, we've lost half our team already, and we have to, 1, establish a beachhead, and then we have to push through Argus in this very WoD style where we're taking over various areas, and then it phases and becomes an area that we can actually utilize in some way. So they've done some convenience things here. 1, because we have access to a spaceship, we can teleport. We have fucking beam me up Scotties, man. No more flight points. You just get beamed down. And the way we do this is by using very StarCraft 2 style drop pods that come from our ship and land and then set up these camps. So we were traveling around doing that. Once we actually discover the super weapon and take it out of commission, We then look to the broken that are there in order to sort of see if they've got a resistance going. Can we get some allies here? We need to establish some sort of army. What can we do? Now, I should point out that they have... they give you a tour of the Vindecarne, which is the spaceship we arrive on, and it does have a portal to Dalaran, and it says we never know, we might need reinforcements. There's also a Netherlight Crucible. The purpose of that is yet to be revealed. We have to go and visit the lady who's running the Netherlight Crucible, but what its actual purpose is, we don't know. So it definitely looks as if we upgrade the Vindecarne. Sorry for the cough, I've been up for 36 hours or something. So it definitely appears that we're going to be upgrading the Vindecarne in order to doing more things, but there's no sign of what that involves, whether it involves a collection of some sort of arbitrary currency like Apexis, or whether it involves some sort of class hold resources, or whether it involves something entirely new. We don't know. Is it a progressing thing like the Mage Tower or contribution? We don't know yet, but it looks like we will be doing that. From there, then, we're going to go find the Resistance, where we find Tyrellian. And he has the best armor ever in the game. The detail and quality that they have given this guy's armor is unbelievable. And I'm sure by now, many of you have seen the new tier sets, of which they are pretty good overall. Pretty goddamn good. We find that he's been hiding out there as well, and been helping the broken and stuff like that. And we're obviously looking for Illyria. And Illyria is around somewhere, and he believes it's in one of the crashed spaceships, the Exenar, which we can see in the distance. That's the golden spaceship we see in the distance. That's the last time he saw her was in the Exenar. So in order to prove our worth, we have to go and help these slaves become free. Now, along the way, Burning Crusade friends, nightmares and PTSD, they have brought back the FAL Reavers, and they have brought them back in style. They look amazing, but they have kept that classic Burning Crusade sound effect, and when you hear it, oh my god, it's so good. It's like, oh, it scares me. I still remember the days of just picking a herb and turning around and it going, and it's right there. That feeling comes straight back. So we do get eventually to fight Aganar. We could talk about the raid bosses in this video, but yeah, we will do. We get to fight Aganar, the Pit Lord, and when we're fighting Aganar and, you know, we're trying to sort out all the slaves, we get trapped. You and Tyrellian, you get to do it solo. It looked like it phased out so no one else can take part in this event. You get trapped and he sends all sorts of doggies at you, some wonderfully new animated fell doggies. And suddenly, out of nowhere, Illyria turns up. There she is. So I thought we were going on a rescue mission. I thought we were going to break into the Exenar, try and find her. That's the last time he saw her, but nope, she comes fucking flying down. She pops fucking volley. She starts wrecking face on the doggies, and she rescues you. And then you have, for you loreheads out there, this moment where they go to visit their son Arator, and it's been a long time since they've seen him, and you know they have this reunion, and it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. It's not over the top or anything like that. After that though, the quest of that is where it stops. That is where it stops right now. The loading area for the next part of the quest actually causes you to disconnect, which is a real shame. So I'll be there as soon as I possibly can. What are my initial thoughts then? Now I've given you the scope and the setting of Argus that we've seen so far. I'm totally fine with its design. This is a big point of controversy with a lot of people right now. I am very much into, at this point in the expansion, a nice story-driven area. I'm totally fine with that. There is absolutely no doubt whatsoever that after you've done the story, this will probably evolve into world quests and stuff like that. I am already very interested with how they're playing this story out. I can't wait for it to be fully voice-acted, because it's not yet. Only Lothraxion is. The music's not in there yet. I think that maybe they're going to use a particular score. They might use a new score for it. I'm super interested to see where the story goes. That's what I want. I want some good story stuff. That's what I'm definitely into. We're way past leveling at this point. I want to just really good, interesting quests that take me on a nice adventure through World of Warcraft. I'm totally fine with that. I want to know how they're going to expand this story, because I feel it's going to expand like a tree as we move through it. We get this very sort of linear start, and then it's got to break out into the other two zones and to see what we're doing there. And if they keep up with this WOD style of progression, I'm totally okay with it. I'm absolutely on board with that. I think although it is still the broken areas, which is what people have a problem with, the green and the grey rocks, all that kind of stuff, that's what I expected it to be. But knowing Blizzard and the way they've done Karazhan and the way they've gone with the Tomb, I am expecting it to shift towards the end. Now, there is some definite clues to that, is that the raid bosses have been revealed, and there's some major lore characters in there. Varimathras is in there, for example. But what's also in there, and in the new dungeon, right, in the new dungeon are Ethereals from the Burning Crusade. Was the last time we saw them. As far as I know, the Consortium fellas, I mean, we did see them for the Valor upgrades and whatnot, but there is definitely the Ethereals, Consortium bros, who are in the game. And they are bosses. There is Naru all involved. There's a couple of Naru mentioned in the Dungeon Journal as being part of the Argus 7.3 patch. So if I run you through this very quickly, the new dungeon, which is the seat of the Triumvirate, has 4 bosses in there. Zurul the Ascended, and if we check the models of these, Zurul the Ascended is gorgeous model. It looks absolutely insane. I wouldn't know from a lore perspective what to call this. Just a corrupted, Draenei, broken giant, I guess we could call that. Saprish, who's a full-on Ethereal Consortium bro. Viceroy Nazir, who again, it almost has very much to me, I don't know if many of you have played it, but has a very much a Pontiff from Dark Souls 3. Pontiff Sullivan has a very Pontiff Sullivan look to him. I think that might be a part of the inspiration there. Definitely, as we know, if you've seen the Rogue tier set, that the From Software series is such a big influence on a lot of the Blizzard guys. And finally, a Naru at the end, Lura is what they're going with this one. Although the model says Anutsu. The boss is called Lura, but the model they're showing is called Anutsu. That is absolutely superb as well, but that is a Naru, and how that's going to play out. I refuse to click the abilities because I don't want to know. I want to wait till I can actually go in and test it and have a good look, but the model work is just fucking incredible, absolutely incredible. The raid, then, we now know is called Antorus, the Burning Throne, which has bosses, the Garothi Worldbreaker, which looks, the model they're giving it right now is a giant siege engine. The Hounds of Sargeras, which look like a pair of doggies. Don't know what they're going to do. A War Council, which has some wonderful demonic models. We have like an Archimon model that's been twisted up and reshapen, and a lovely, one of the female demons that you'll see around the Broken Show model. A Portal Keeper Hasabel. Hasabel's armor, it looks almost like a predator. Looks fantastic. The Tatadilladan wings that go along with it, the tail, he looks very sleek and very fast, and I think it might be like that, almost like you're fighting a Demon Hunter raid boss. I think that might be what they're going for there. Ionar the Lifebinder is in there. Imanar the Soul Hunter is in there. Kin Garoth, who seems to be some sort of machinist, as he has 3 siege engines that come along with him, all superb models that go with that. Varimathras, as I just said, Varimathras is in there and looking ropey. The Coven of Shavara, everything you would expect from them. The 4 Sisters of Shavara, who are very... So, I mean, these models look kind of derpy to me. Like, 2 of them look very, very derpy, and then 2 of them look quite aggressive. So I wonder if they'll be like a healer type of setup and a caster kind of setup, and then with a couple of melees thrown in. Agramar. Now, this was the one that obviously ruffled a few feathers, because Agramar is in there. The Titan is in there. How that's going to play out, I don't even. I barely grasp what the power of the Titans is supposed to be in the lore of the game, so I don't know how that's going to play out. And of course, we now know the final boss is going to be Argus the Unmaker. How that's going to play out, I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. There's no model associated with it or anything like that. I don't think there's even any abilities listed from what people have told me. There is no abilities listed there. So that is going to be super interesting. This is the setting for 7.3, and to me, it's looking great. It's what I want. What other people want, that's going to vary. But this is starting off as I want it, which is just a solid, well-developed story in a cool setting that I think might vary up quite nicely. Ladies and gentlemen, Argus, I will look forward with bated breath to bring you more of this. I'll see you again. Bye-bye.